And here we go to save the day. And this is our time together. I hope you're having an amazing one. We are rocking it out here. Voila. Make sure we got our good feed. Looks like we do. Excellent. All right. So today is all about business, internet monthly mastery, 7 things you must know now. And this was a huge discovery for me as I look back on lessons learned in 2018. Go back a decade. And I want to make sure I'm delivering for you today because this is the needle movers for what's been working. As I kind of learned some lessons early on and then I put them into play when I gave a presentation, and I've passed this tool, and I'm calling it, out. And it's kind of shown people where they're misfiring in a very direct way, like shows the pain that they didn't even know they had if they have an online presence. So we're going to break that down for you. But before we do, let's go ahead and go through our process because we have a solid solution for assuring we're rocking it with you every month, usually the second Saturday of the month, to make sure we're taking care of you from the business, online mastery side to really dial in what you're doing in the world to make sure it lives into those beautiful 5 Ps. I'm going to hit on the last one. Profitability is everything. Some people are dialing it in. A lot of people that I've been working with, they're just trying to get that engine going, that momentum gained, and so on and so forth. So we're going to really rock that out for you today. So today we start with big picture. Then we go into training. We paint the big picture so we have the fuel, the storyline, the understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. Then we go into the training piece and we make sure we're owning that. Then we go into tactics, and let me just verify that sound is working over here, and it looks like it is because I can hear myself on the video. Perfect. That all said, how to get the most out of our time together, make sure you have no distractions. I wouldn't want you to miss anything in line of what we're covering today. Because today especially, as we line up for 2019, setting really big intention to go after it, to own it, to make sure we're hitting on the right things. And we've either delegated or deleted the things that, they may not be serving us. Very, very powerful. We'll be going through a lot of that work today. Make sure you take notes, star any questions right after. Well, 30 minutes after we end today, we'll have our Zoom roundtable. So I answer any of your questions. We got a bunch already lined up. So excited for you there. And be open and vulnerable. Make sure you ask those questions. You ask for support. Share what you've created. Share what you've got so that we can help each other grow and really own this dialogue together. To really own serving the world in the beautiful ways that we do together. It's crazy with the amount of people in our mastery community. If we just shared each other's stuff every so often, we got enough to really gain mass momentum for each of us. It's so cool how we've created this. I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So next up is to participate. In light of how we do it here in YouTube, it's just commenting. If you're watching the replay, comment below. Make sure you share what you've learned, what you're committed to, maybe your ratings as we go through our big picture perspective. And of course, know this, we're all here for you, making sure we're owning this experience for each other. That we've got each other's back. That we'll have those calls, those even in-person meetings, whatever it is, say, what can I do to help you? What can I do to serve you? What can I do to review what you got? Dial it up a notch. Make sure we're owning that for you, right? So, our first step today is perspective. And with that being said, we're going to add a new little thing in here, the 5 Ps review. And we did this in our health, wealth, and happiness. And it seemed to be real powerful in terms of resonating and really working for everybody. So dialing in those 5 Ps, my purpose, my reason for being on this planet, number 1, as you think back all of 2018, I'd love for you to rate yourself. In line of your business, the way you're helping the world, typically by putting something in the world and getting income from it. How purposeful has that felt for you in 2018? Recognizing sometimes a roller coaster is a purpose, right? But whatever that is, what's the average, the way you felt for the year? So for me, that's a 10. Everything that I've been doing, I just swing, like I'd say a lot, I'm swinging like from rope to rope. Tarzan on the ropes of purpose. Just one session to another, then into a time block, helping people, then into a time block, building what we're building out for 2019, getting all this stuff going. Very purposeful. Whatever that is for you, go ahead and share in the comments if you're up for it, or share in the replay if you're watching it. all of 2018, how purposeful has your business felt for you? Not worried about the money just yet. Just, are you doing what you're on the planet to do? What you feel like with what you know, your talents and everything right now, you're on the planet, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Or are you feeling out of line there? Next up, passion. How passionate have you been in 2018 for what you do in the world to help others? Is that dialed in? Are you still getting up in the morning? Is it waking you up, igniting you to go after it? Would love to know, how passionate have you felt 2018 overall? In line of business. The frame here is business. So for me, that's another 10. Very passionate about this. There were times where I may have dipped to an 8 just because I was like on vacation. And I'm like, what do I do in the world again? You know how you disconnect? If you have a great vacation, you come back and you're like, why is it important to me to do all this again? Oh, and then you start doing it and you're like, now I know. That kind of thing. So passion for 2018, give yourself a rating. Share it if you're willing to. Next, positive. How joyous has running your business felt, and has it helped propel joy into the world? Like, how positive you've been, how positive have you felt, how positive have you been putting energy into the world? Have you really felt the difference? Bringing the joys, like say in high performance. 0, this thing, no, it's not positive at all. As a matter of fact, I can't stand it. Or 10, I am owning bringing joy, positivity, happy energy into the world through the very blessed work that I get to do. What is that for you? Come on, be honest. Go for it. Share. I'd love to see. Let's rock it. Next up, how productive have you felt? In line of the work side of things. Really just going after your endeavors, not spinning out of control, doing things that, and why did I just spend 5 hours doing that? When it doesn't have an effect on my brand, my people, my business. Sometimes people get caught up in like, I spent 10 hours just trying to figure out how to make this button work. And maybe at the 2-hour mark, they should have said, wait a minute, I don't know how to do this, and asked in our community for help, right? That's the beauty of what we're doing here. If you're stuck on any track, pop that message, either in an email to me, in our Facebook group. Say, guys, I'm struggling here. We're happy to help. We're waiting. We got experts in Kajabi. We got experts in MailChimp. We got experts in Wix, Weebly, Jimdo, all these online platforms to build your own thing, PayPal. And a lot of that stuff, it's in my realm because we study that in my other business and really help people facilitate all those technologies. Really, really powerful. So how have you felt? All of 2018, productive. Overall, 0, not at all, 10, going after it. And then that last P, the last one. What is it? I think you know what it is. And that is profitable. Make sure we kill this. Let's see what we got here. Aha! Linda says the link takes her to an old session. So pause for 1 minute. I'm going to fix the link on our page and make sure that they're all taken care of. Sometimes when you're running your own show, you got to do what you got to do. So let's go ahead and make sure that we are dialed in here. Taking care of our peeps. So your idea as I do this is to assure how profitable your endeavors have felt in 2018. How profitable have you felt? And let me just pop this link in here. 0 to 10. Think about, when you think about that whole idea of profitability and really owning the 2019 for you, what is that? All right, I think we're good here. Let me just go ahead and save. Thanks so much for your patience as we dial this in. I see what the problem was. I think we just fixed it. Let's verify. Monthly biz, got that. Go to the link. Yep. And that's why I have my phone on hand, just in case. All fixed. Refresh and try again. Where's the quality control here, right? I want to make sure we're all taken care of as we do this. So, in line of that last P, profitability. Have you hit break even? That would be the first step to getting profitable, right? Have you gone over? Are you saving as you're moving across time? Maybe it was near the end of the year for you. Maybe it was in the last few months, whatever that is. What is that for you? So how profitable overall? For me, that's a 10. That's a 10. That's a 10. That's dipped usually at a 10. Sometimes the passion falls a little bit depending on where I'm at. And let's see what you got here. I'm going to turn this off. And refresh. And try again. You know what happens when you're running a one-man show. We should be good to go. Next up, of course, is our business assessment. And if you don't have it, go to bit.ly/mybiz assessment, and that will get it for you. But I'm going to walk you through it anyway, so you don't really need it. So that's the power of this. Again, we're trying to frame for the bigger picture. Why are we doing what we're doing? My business is where I thought it'd be at this point. I'm receiving inquiries from the requests from the right customers for each of my active services, solutions, and or products. I'm running a profitable business I am proud of. What does that line up for you? How you feeling there? Again, usually we do this monthly for the previous month, but today, because it's December, I want to do it for the entire year. So when you go ahead and think about this, where are you at? Is your business where you thought it'd be at this point? Are you receiving inquiries and requests from the right customers? And I say right because the people that are qualified, the ones that are dream customers. And if you don't know who they are, sometimes we have to journal on that to make sure we understand what that is, right? I am running a profitable business I am proud of. That ties right back into the P that we just covered. What is that? 0 to 10 right now as you think back through 2018. Next up, my expenses and income. I know what my expenses are, and I know the baseline amount of income my business needs to generate to break even with expenses. So for some, this is a basic thing. For others, I've coached entrepreneurs who didn't know this. And this, when they broke through with this, would have saved them all kinds of headache, pain, fear, relationship damage. Because they were living in a state of fear because they were seeing credit cards dial up and they weren't able to handle it, right? So I take this one incredibly seriously, and I really work diligently to help people understand that savings versus spend rate. We covered that in Personal Freedom. And if you haven't watched that high performance coaching session yet, the replays are up. Personal Freedom. We talked about the savings versus spending rate. And when people dial those in, they feel a higher sense of personal freedom. When they're saving and they have cushion, they're like, okay, I got some breathing room here. I can deal with that. So what is that for you though? 2018. Have you known what your expenses and your baseline amount of income is to generate break even? Recurring revenue. And last night in Brendan's session, Marketing Monthly, he said, you're doing yourself a disservice, your clients, your family, and the world if you do not have recurring revenue at play. Because if you don't have recurring revenue at play, in the context where we're talking about in thought leadership, that's usually a subscription, kind of like the monthly membership, right? That's an example of it. But you can't budget towards things. You're always on the hunt to get new sales, right? When you have recurring revenue in play and you're building value over time as we're doing, and I hope we're crushing it for you in the mastery community, you know there's a certain level of income coming in. And you can do campaigns with that level of money sort of towards the future. We'll talk about that in our session work today, our training. Really, really powerful here. He goes, and I love the way he put this and challenged us on it last night. You're irresponsible if you are not riding the wave of subscription revenue right now. Because there's no time in our history where it's been more okay to be of the Netflix generation. And instead of people consuming Netflix, they're consuming the things you can help them with. And I would challenge you, as he does, to challenge yourself to be of motivation, inspiration for them and their customers, their family, the people they love, care for, serve, and the world. If you follow Brendan at EA or in his new product, Total Product Blueprint 2, he teaches that teachable content pyramid, and I've taught it from that. And it's in some of our trainings. I'll make sure to link to it below for you. But the teachable content pyramid says it's not just about teaching tactics. People can figure that out through YouTube, through books. What you're also doing for them is bringing them energy, perspective towards how they can be better, and empowering them to be better for those they love, care for, and serve, and the world. But this is the kicker here. How well are you doing with this? I understand and leverage the power of $3 a day or $85 a month, both equal $1,000 a year, in my business and have at least one active recurring revenue stream. Service maintenance contracts, monthly subscription. Looking back over 2018, what's the average? You got that? Next up, my freedom and my future. Here's where we take and connect the dots between the last two. I have a recurring revenue stream that meets or exceeds my break-even expenses, giving me the awesome sensation of freedom. I understand the power of recurring revenue toward the valuation of selling my business in the future. Brendan even talked about that last night, which I thought was phenomenal. So this is a big part. How are we doing here? 2018. What's showing up? Are you crushing this? Or are you getting crushed by this? Are you stagnant in terms of sales? Are you not going after it? Have you tried it? Can't get it to go? If that's the case, you and I need to have a conversation. We also need to have you ask the questions or just admit that I need some help here in our Zoom roundtable because I really want to make sure I'm dialing in for you. We've got some great training online now. We got the 0 to 100K, exactly what I did to get to 100K in 7 months. We just did the coaches Q&A where I did basic training about the conversation. And a lot of people are like, I'm not having that part of the conversation. I'm not introducing myself that way. And I'm making that training available to all of us in the mastery community. Part 1 is actually online right now of the training from Wednesday, where I went over the basics, the lay of the land for getting customers. And that part 1 is up right now in the CHPC Business Builder course. If you want to see it, I'll make sure I link to that below in the replay as well. Really, really powerful here. What is that for you? So for me, I think you know my story. I'm all 10 so far. So that's what I do, right? I want to be the role model, the research reporter, and the results expert for you. So I'm owning those 3 types of expert. And that was really, really part of my goal for 2018 was to get there and do that. And I cannot thank you enough for helping us down that road, making sure we're owning it, crushing it together, rocking it, all those good things. Next up, my relationships. This goes right back to what we talked about in our health, wealth, and happiness. Because relationships are the core of any business, especially when you're a thought leader, coach, helping others. You got to have good relationships. Maintain them. I continually think about and ask how I can help my customers improve their lives and or grow their businesses. I consistently work to grow my relationships with my potential, new, current, and past customers. Let me make sure we have all the people taken care of. And it looks like we do. I'm sorry for that little bump in the process there, Nina and Linda. I'm glad you're with us. I hope this is working out well for you. Let me just double check. And yep. All right, we got some peeps in the house. Good stuff. So this is really critical. What kind of strategy do you have in play for potential, new, current, and past customers? I can deep dive teach you on that if you'd like. Not in this session. But if you need more help thinking these things through, let me know and we'll frame for that first quarter of 2019 for you. So what is this for 2018? Have you been ear to the ground? People support what they create. One of our big premises for influence, for persuasion mastery, those kinds of things. Really going after this co-creation. Adjusting course for your monthly subscription, your monthly program based on what your people are saying. Do you have a finger on the pulse of that? Ear to the ground on that. Really critical. All right, next up, my systems and accountability. My business can easily run without me. I have solid systems and accountability built into those systems so I can easily see how my business is operating at any given time. If you are honored to have Kajabi, you got a lot of this dialed in. Now for our business, thought leadership coaching, the business can't totally run without you, but our part of the process is to come in and do just the work we need to do where we only can do it and then pop out. So going into 2019, I'm incredibly clear about what that is. 3 days a month is my requirement to assure you're taken care of. We've got our second Saturday of the month. You know how that rolls. Health, wealth, and happiness, business internet, Zoom roundtable. And then we have 2 Wednesdays per month where I'm running a new group, starting with the core, a new high performance group, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then on that day, we're doing a second coaching is the plan that we're doing right now is where we're in the declarations. So in the morning, I'll be doing the core. In the evening, I'll be doing the declarations for the first half of 2019. And then the 3rd or 4th Wednesday, depending on when those coaching called Line Up, I'll be doing a second Zoom roundtable at noon because I want to make sure I'm taking care of our European friends and our beautiful mastery members there. And as we grow, it's just, there's not enough time in those Zoom roundtables, even if we stay for hours, to answer everything, take care of y'all. So I'm going to prep for that for scale. So that basically the second Saturday of the month and somewhere third or fourth Wednesday of the month, you get full access to me and making sure we're taking care of you from a Q&A perspective. But if you're running your own monthly membership, those Q&As are everything towards fueling what you're going to teach and how you're going to go through and help the world, right? So it's really, really critical that we're dialing that in. So how you doing here? So for me, let's see. I talked a lot about how I got to delegate more, so I'm probably at a 6 here. And I know what I got to delegate, and I'm so on that, and I know where I need to be more consistent. And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people in our check-in sessions that I'm like, guess what my word of the year is? For me, is consistency 2019. And they're like, after we went through the work, they're like, you know what? My word's consistency too. I got to hit those needle movers with real consistent action. Oh, it's so powerful. Next up, last, test and measure, improve and remove. Every week, month, quarter, or at least every 6 months, I review the performance of both my income streams and my expenses in my business. For example, every 6 months, I print my profit and loss statement or my credit card statement, and I highlight in green expenses that are necessary, in yellow expenses that should be reviewed, and red expenses that were like, who charged that and why? Really critical to making sure you're dialing things in. It's so funny to me how, cable bill is going up $10 a month. That's $120 a year. Oh yeah, electricity went up 5%. Whatever. This particular thing went up 8%. This particular 10%. You add all that up, that's like $1,000, $2,000 in recurring, like little pockets of expense, right? But I'm on that. I'm always watching for that. Car insurance is a great one. They'll do that to you. You get in at a great rate and don't have any tickets or accidents. I'm blessed not to have those things. And next thing you know, they're up 10% the next 6 months, 8% the next 6 months. And I'm like, no. That's not how it's going to work. Make the call. But I'm on it proactively. You follow? So that being said, what is this for you? Do you need to do that right now so you have a good idea what's going on from 2018? Are you going to do that so you're prepped for 2019? These are the behaviors, the mindset, the things I need to shift. When I have that emotional impulse to charge that thing, I'm going to be like, I ain't charging it because I know what I did last year and I know how it made me feel when I went over and reviewed this. Or do you have to have that conversation, that courageous conversation with somebody else who's on your account? Yeah, if you need help there, let me know. We talked about that in our health, wealth, and happiness. The 4 needle movers, exceptional business growth, relationships, plus offer or offers equals transactions times that C word, consistency. So let's rate this for you. This can be the same rating you gave yourself a moment ago with my relationships. For me, that's an 8. In terms of continuing to assure I'm taking care of you and building new relationships too, that we might be able to serve, support, and help in our bigger picture. And when I say we, I mean we. We're bringing in new members. We got a couple in the works right now. And I want to make sure as we bring them online and help them that you all welcome them open arms and make sure help taking care of them. Whatever they need, we got different people that are handling it. Nina for books, me for the business side. Linda, it sounds like you're doing some Kajabi stuff, which is amazing. So we got a lot of resources in here that really help. Offers, do we have solid offers that we need, or do we need to tweak those? And are they converting? So as you think back for 2018 here, have you been building, creating, and maintaining those great relationships like we talked about a moment ago? Are the offers you have up good? I mean, when people see them or when you frame for them, are they converting? Are they enough? Do you need to maybe make a new offer? Do you need to have a new option? A new way of being? I see a lot of people leaving money on the table by not asking their customers. I think one of the people I was working with, Paul maybe, we were talking about they got a lower price option and a high priced option, and somebody was asking for a medium option, and we had to think through that. So do you need to add any offers? And of course, how are you doing this year so far on generating sustainable transactions, taking money? If you're on the recurring thing, where is in Kajabi, you can see the total amount of transactions that have been generated. What's that number? Mine's over 1,000 for this year. And most of those are just on repeat, right? That's the magic here. Next up, of course, is how consistent are we in these areas with going after relationships, making sure we're taking care of who we have, with pursuing, creating, or maintaining, or sharing offers, with growing our transactions. Now for me, you see my ratings. 5 is a little higher than it was last month, but I'm on the hunt for that and making sure that we're dialing that in. Got a lot of great things at play. Went through a very powerful exercise that I always coach others on. The behaviors, the mindset, the habits, the systems, all those things for 2019. Like I totally had to visualize how I wanted to feel going into the year and how I wanted to not feel based on my history about the second week of January. And then what I would have to do to just set up for that. Follow? Oh, I'm so excited for you. Oh, this is gold. So what are we doing here on time? Oh, good. We got plenty of time. Next up is our second step, which is training. So let me go through and change over the camera. So we're owning that for you. We'll tighten that up just a little bit, make sure it's in focus. And there we go. Running that one-man show. I love the fact that we can do this real time while we're live and just go after it. So first and foremost, big lesson learned in terms of opt-ins. Big lesson learned in terms of speaking to people. Big lesson learned in terms of taking care of past and current customers. You want to hear it? I needed to have a frame for each of those customer segments on what they need to know now. And that's why that's today's topic. So what we're going to start with is going over the overarch of what I've created and how you can create it too in this tool. And if you want to get the tool right now, go to bit.ly/online report card, all one word, all lowercase, online report card. What you should see is this guy right here. And let me make sure we can see that. And we can. Cool. So this is the online presence report card. You probably can't read it. We're going to go over it. But this is an involvement device. And let me tell you why it's an involvement device that I used in Tampa when I gave that big presentation. I don't know if you heard, but after CHPC week, the week before Thanksgiving here in the US, I flew from Phoenix to Tampa and gave a presentation on Saturday to 100 people. A little over 100 people, I think it was. And the front end of it was all about my 7 fundamentals of online success. That was for an hour and a half. Took a 20-minute break. Then we came back and we rated themselves. Well, I helped them rate themselves using this tool, your online presence report card. Now you might not be able to see that, but you see that F should have been in your email for today's session. Yeah, so there's a grading scale with an F. And let me tell you, people did not like when I said, if you got a red pen, put it in your grade based on the actual specific grading scale down below. And I got it really clearly spelled out based on what you get for points. Just so you know, this is engineered to give you no better than a C unless you're on it. And most people rated themselves a D to an F. I showed them the pain they were in. So what I want you to visualize here is this. When I have this like this, and it's close-up shot, and I'm like this, or pointing like this, we're going to test that as a Facebook ad. What's your grade? Are you aware of the changes Google has made? Are you aware of the psychology that needs to be put in play today to succeed online? Are you aware of what you need to be consistent with to really own this? So in this report card, there's 3 major points. And this is what I want you to take notes of if you want to create something similar. You can still have the assessment. I still have my internet assessment. But this is more geared to show them the struggle points they're in now. The assessment is geared to show them the struggle, teach them some things, but it's also geared for the ambition for what they need to think about on a continual basis. Follow the difference? We're trying to create an involvement device that they do that showcases in a very clear way where they're failing or not doing well, where their pain's at. Big differentiator. So let me walk you through the way that I created this. You can take your notes, because if you have any questions on it and you want to invent something like this for you, I'm happy to help you with it. So the way I created this was I built a video, and you can go and get access to that training video at www.isgf as in Frank, L.com. I've got it down here for you, isgfl.com. And I actually train you on these topics. Now the training was built before I built this, so I may refilm that. But the training actually informed this. So it's kind of cool how this all worked out. But when I thought through that training, I said, I need to give them a couple give-me's so they get the momentum. They're like, yeah, I got this. And then hit them really where it hurts. And that's what number 3 does, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. So the first 2 are usually pretty cut and dry, but I divvied it into 3 areas: technology, psychology, and consistency. Because guess what? ISG, my internet services fulfillment company, its primary focus is to be the fulfillment company for people getting their content out in a consistent fashion online while we're measuring for awareness, leads, and sales. You follow? I'm not interested, just so you have an idea, I'm not interested in putting stuff out there just for awareness. I want to make sure every so often we're peppering in, hey guys, if you want to learn more about this value that we're putting in the world, click here, do this, subscribe, whatever that would be, so we can convert them into a lead. So they're non-anonymous in our world. You follow? We'll talk a little bit more of that as we get into the content here. So in your context, for what you're thinking about, if you're thinking about something similar, what is it based on what you know about your uniqueness, your ability to serve, that you could put into a report card format? Is there anything there for you? It could be a report card version of your assessment. For example, my business assessment, we could change those into report card and be real simple because those are rated, just like we did today. And we just had a grading scale and a grade. You follow? Nobody wants to see the red F. Nobody wants to see the D. Especially in the US, C, D, F. Like, nobody wanted that on the report card. So I had to go to basic, what do they call that? Acknowledgement of approval, of love, of I'm doing things right, and hit that out of the park. So my job as a side note for you is with all my existing customers, anybody who asks, and I always ask permission for this, can I go through and run you through our online presence report card, where we go through these 7 critical areas you need to have in play now, and I'll give you a grade on it, and then we can talk it out. Can you see where this is going? I've purposefully not done this with too many people because the moment I show them where their pain's at, they're like, can you help me? Can you fix it? And we can, but I had to have the backing with my partner company, making sure that we're owning that space. Thank you, Don and Nick. We're going to rock it. But we're really kicking this off going into 2019. As a matter of fact, on the ISGFL website, this will be the main opt-in right here, where you get this and then I train you on it. And even if you don't get trained on it, these questions are powerful enough, and I'm tuning a couple of them, this is still in beta-ish, where you hit the marks on them. You follow? I hope this is helping. And I know people are like, what's the difference between that and an assessment? You can make an assessment a report card. That's not a problem. But my challenge was to really think about, in line of what we know from the world of SEO, from the world of Google, from the world of psychology online, and the world of consistency over time, which is where the winners win and the other ones fall apart and the other ones fail. You know what I mean? I think we all know what I mean, because so many of us have been inconsistent about posting things. And when we do post things, especially if they ignite emotion, people ask, oh, we're seeing some result, but how consistent are we? Like Brendan, to me, is like 10 plus on consistency there. Like he does it no matter what. And he travels a lot, as you know. So real powerful as we think this through. So my big lessons learned here with this. I had to create an involvement device, that's what this is called, where they could do it or I could do it, but it showed them pain. Pain that they may have not known they have or had, you know what I mean? Especially with a lot of the service-oriented businesses we serve, they don't know about 3. They don't know about 4, and they don't know about 5, and you can tell on their website. And they don't have consistent campaigns, and they don't test and measure. Like, they already have enough. Follow? But I also want to make sure the first 1 or 2 were kind of give-me's. So they were like, oh, cool, we're doing that right. Oh, we're doing that right. Oh, what the heck is that? So that being framed, if you have any questions, comment, or bring them up in a roundtable today. Now let's switch gears and actually go through this for you. So if you have a website online or an online presence, here's how this can work. If you got that sheet, you can print it out. It's bit.ly, so it's an online report card. And the very first topic, this applies to Kajabi. This applies to any blogs you have online, any sites you have online today. Here's the question. and it's all about mobile readiness. So if you didn't print this out and you want to write this down, mobile readiness, mobile friendliness. Back in April of 2016, Google made the distinction where the search for mobile was different than the search for desktop, because they were finding people on mobile were in a location-specific situation. And so they changed that. Here's what happened. Most people now access Google through mobile devices, even doing Siri or Alexa, right? And like they're asking questions. And so you'll see the number 3, when I hit that for you, that's showing it's helping people show up in Siri and Alexa more than others that aren't doing number 3. But from the mobile readiness perspective, is your website, blog, online presence mobile ready and mobile friendly? Visit Google's test at bit.ly, just mobile test for you, number 4, letter U, to find out. If you receive a green Pages mobile friendly, check the box, give yourself a 10. If you have issues, it's a 5. Otherwise, it's no check and a 0. See how simple that can be? Really critical, especially today, that you're mobile friendly. Like everything, as you probably know, I don't need to tell you this, is going to the mobile. Go into the smartphones. And the people that are getting online who otherwise have never had internet access, this is in Africa, for example, are getting on through mobile devices. I'd like to shout out to this beautiful spinach high-performance shake. If you want to see me make it, it's day 3 of the 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge. I made it in the kitchen and forgot to put the lid on the blender. My face looked hilarious. I almost edited it out, but decided not to, just to provide a little entertainment for you. All right, little sponsored message there. So that's number 1. So my challenge, if you're going to create something like this, is make number 1, number 2 kind of a give me. Like with your audience, yeah, I got that. Got it covered. Just to get them in the rhythm of filling this out and feeling comfortable that they're making forward motion. Number 2, security, SSL. Using a web browser such as Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, visit a website or blog, look for the lock at the top or secured near the address bar. If it's secure and there's no security issues, it'll tell you if there is. Check the box, give yourself a 10. If it's not secured, no check and a 0. So there's a lot of sites that we've built over the years that in my ISG company that are not secured. This is catalyst for us to help them get secure and reevaluate their online presence. Literally, just so you have framing, there's sites that we built 8 years ago, 10 years ago that were the kind of state of the art then. They're not mobile ready or friendly, and they do not have security. So my team is working on those. There's like 120 of them, I think, last count. Out of the 120, I think most of them don't have one of these or both. So we're working on that as marketing to help them. Hey guys, we're ready to rebuild your website in the new platform that hits the marks on these. And also talk about the rest of this stuff. You follow? You see where this is going? In line of what we talked about earlier, this idea of past customers, current customers, really critical. Number 3, this gets technical fast. Schema. Do you have schema markup or structured data on each page of your website? If applicable, do you have the specific NAICS and SIC codes, census data specific markup for your service areas or your people? Have you recently reviewed and updated each page's markup? Now, if this went right over your head, it was engineered too. Because this stuff is stuff that me and my guys do and gals to make sure you are clearly articulating to Google, Bing, Yahoo, who you are. I talked about this in the email. Schema markup, and I'm developing the actual code right now. I was hoping to have it done today, I just did not have time. This week was really overwhelming from getting these secondary tasks done. This is one of my medium priority things. But I'm hoping to have for you the exact structured markup for coaching in line of what they offer from these federal classification systems, the NA and SCI codes. All that means, if you're using Kajabi, is you'll get a bundle of JavaScript. If you're not familiar with what that is, Google it. And it's just code that tells specifically Google, Yahoo, Yelp even, Siri, Alexa, that I am a coach, I service these areas and these kinds of companies. You feel it here? This is deep. What we've discovered with a lot of the service-oriented companies we've done, that when we got articulate with our structured markup, that they showed up within 3 to 5 days higher for the services, solutions, or products that they offer with no other changes. If you're not familiar with how to rank yourself online, there's 3 critical areas. I call it the magic 3 to grow your organic ranking online. Number 1 is you have to have original, compassionate content. It's got to be original. Google still demotes for duplicate content penalty. That's number 1. Number 2, you've got to have that content aligned with how people search. So did you do the keyword research and assure the keyword arcs for that content is aligned with how people are actually searching? So let me give you an illustration. If your page is about air conditioning for the home user, like air conditioning service, air conditioning system, and we have a lot of that in Southwest Florida, even in the winter, then you better have done your homework to figure out how people are searching for those services. So an illustration for you is a lot of air conditioning companies have come to me over the years because I used to do presentations for them and said, I think they're searching Lee County air conditioning, which is the county I'm in. And I said, the search shows there's 0 volume for that, the search keyword tools that kind of do the analysis for you. But they are searching FT Myers air conditioning, FT Myers AC service, Fort Myers AC service. And I showed one guy this and he's just like, nah, I don't believe it. I'm like, that's the data. Nah, they're searching Lee. I'm like, they're not searching Lee County, dude. Sorry. So our job, take notes on this, was to have that Fort Myers air conditioning in our titles for that page, air conditioning services. We'll get to the page thing in a minute. In the header, like the H1, if you're familiar with how coding is, interspersed with synonyms in the content, synonyms being air conditioning service, AC service, those are synonyms like the way that Google sees it. And then making sure that we had it in the schema piece, if applicable as well. So title, header, content, and in the URL, like in the URL line, if that's controllable by your content management system. If this is all going over your head and you need more help here, I got training on that, let me know, comment. But this is where a little extra oomph, my team does this, so if you need help there, we can help you with this. Like a little extra oomph here goes the extra mile. Because guess what? Going the extra mile, most people don't do it, and it's lonely there. Brendan said it a few times. I've known that for quite a while. Schema is everything. So you see the first 2 in the technology? Got it or don't got it, but I get it. Third one, I don't know what that is. Boom, I need your help. So I would challenge you on the 3rd item, if you're doing an involvement device like this, to be like, I'm going to have to educate you on this. I'm going to have to help you understand it. And if applicable to your business, I'm going to have to help you implement it. So for a lot of thought leaders to go after this, there's specific training for this one. And it may be free, it may be in the world to provide value. But in terms of doing it, you're going to need my help or my team's help. You follow? I hope you're seeing the arc and the psychology of this. So 4 and 5 are both around psychology. 4, we alluded to earlier, is that for everything we do, there's 1 topic per page. So here's the thing. Do you have a single web page, video, blog post dedicated to each of your services, solutions, or products? Or a single page video blog post with 1 question and 1 answer? So let me start filling these in for us. Security. Schema. 1 topic per page with links. So I didn't tell you about the 3rd item in Magic SEO. Original engaging content, that's first. 2nd is aligned with how people search. 3rd is getting that page, not necessarily your homepage, but that page linked from other relevant, popular sources. And so I'm going to be changing number 4 to say on 1 page per topic with backlinks. Not links to other places, but links to that page that help that page propel. So if somebody searched high performance coach in Redding, California, Linda Fitzgerald would pop up. So do you have in your content for high performance coaching, very specifically saying, I'm a high performance coach in Redding, California? And is that something people are searching for? They may not be yet, although Brendan's done a great job of helping us propel the high performance keyword phrasing. If you go into Google keyword tool, you'll see people actually searching high performance, which is awesome. And high performance coach has low volume last time I checked. So our job here, 1 topic per page, and here's the takeaway for you. If you have 1 question and answer per video, you can replay those, meaning you can link to those in social over time. You might say January 10th. The number one question people have in terms of high performance coaching? Why should I even consider it? And in this video, I answer it. So that can be a social media update with a link to YouTube where you answer that. And then in March 18th, you can relink to that, put that in your scheduled post, which Facebook's business page lets you do. And people are always on the hunt for more content, but it's really powerful. And I always train people to have questions and answers in their websites, 1 page per question and answer, because then you can link to that. Have a video integrated with a transcript. So incredibly powerful. Can you come up with 20 questions about your business? 25, 30? Can you come up with 52? If you come up with 52, which most people can when you challenge them, that's a full year of content every week. And you have 52 different pages in your site. Google loves it when you add new content. You follow? Hope this isn't too deep for you, but I want to make sure you're seeing the pain points and the way we illustrate that. 1 topic per page. And it doesn't mean like on the home page, you're not linking categorically into things. Like you're on your home page, you can talk about your why, what your main services are, and have 4 links, 2 individual pages, 1 for each service, right? Or in a line of Kajabi, on our homepage, we have a main downloadable. You follow? Like this thing helps you with removing a severe amount of pain you didn't even know you might have had, kind of thing. But at the end game, there's 1 topic per page, 1 video answer per question, right? So powerful. And then your backlink. And I didn't have that on here. I'm going to be adding that in. Number 5, compassionate content with CTAs. Within each page, video or post, I started by reviewing the visitor's struggle, then their ambitions, dreams, desired outcome. So many sites I've evaluated over the last 10 years have always started with, we do this, we're here for this, we've been around since then, and we. And they call that in the industry weeing all over yourself. And it's usually a very low, if any, level of any kind of conversion. But when you acknowledge the struggle, hey, in a topic like air conditioning service, to go back to that, are you struggling with your air conditioning working? Is it not producing cool air? Are you hot, sweaty? Is your family upset? Like these things are all things that are real when your AC doesn't work in Florida. And then the ambition is to have somebody come in and fix it fast, to fix it well, make sure that they're taking care of it and they're professional and they don't cost a lot. So we're talking about ambitions there. So we're your company. Here's what we do uniquely. Here's how we can help you. Here's your next step. Call us, contact us, or fill out our emergency form. You follow? That's compassionate content. Let's define the definition of compassion: recognizing somebody's struggle and having a desire to alleviate it, which is the essence of what we teach in session 10 of High Performance. Struggle, acknowledging it, going after ambition. Although the definition I just said to you was not about ambition per se, the alleviation of a struggle is basically saying, hey, I'm going to alleviate your struggle and get to an ambition, a dream, a desired outcome. You follow? So can you see how powerful this is already? Like if a company doesn't have mobile readiness, they're not secure, they don't know what Schema is, they're already 30 points in the hole. Then they're like, 1 topic per page, well, yeah, we kind of have some of our services, 1 topic, we don't really have questions, we have them all on 1 page, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Okay, so I give myself a 2 there. Boom, they've already got an F. And I'm drilling that home. Because I'm at the point in my career, in my life, where it's not about mediocrity. It's about full-gone world class or, go big, go home. And I want to make sure we're delivering on that. You follow? Really, really powerful here. So now 6 and 7 are the consistent work. The question, do you have a campaign, editorial, content calendar for the next 3 months with clearly defined deliverables? Email newsletters, emails going out, videos being posted, photos being posted, or quote cards as we teach, posts, news releases. News releases are one of the most powerful ways to bring awareness to a page in your website. And Google loves news because of its urgency. And if you put it in like PR log and these kind of things, sometimes you can rank with just the news release itself in Google. Meaning that you title the news release right. Instead of saying, Charlie Caldwell coached over 3,000 sessions in 2018, whatever that would be, that number isn't true, by the way. I could say high performance coach in Florida coaches over, let's see, 500 sessions. I don't know what this year was. Maybe 1,000 sessions in 2018. You see how I use the keywords right in the front end? So gold. We've used this for years. Incredibly powerful. We're not abusing this, but we're using this. Can you see how this can stack if you had a news release every month? This is something I teach in my Total Internet Marketing Blueprint course, and I have a 11 by 17 sheet that we actually do this work on. Do you have a big picture plan for the next year that addresses creating awareness, leads, and sales? So the idea here is this. There's 3 metrics we're measuring on. We're putting stuff in the world to see if it's being seen. But beyond that, if we're trying to create a profitable, purposeful business, we're putting stuff in the world to see if people will click and give us a name and an email minimally, so they make themselves non-anonymous in our world. And then from that list, are any of them converting to real paying customers? I hope you can see with this that once I demonstrate the pain and they become a lead and do the work, like for new or potential customers, boom, they're like, fix it. Fix it now. I do not want to leave any more money on the table here. You follow? Now, just so you know, and we teach this in high performance, so I know you know it's true, both of the definitions, high performance and high performance living, the C word's in there consistently. Why is it in each? Because most people misfire there. There's always room for improvement with consistent campaigns. Planning out the next year, just from a big picture perspective, and then planning out the next 90 days, and then planning out the next month. As we go down, we get more specific about what needs to be delivered and when. Follow? So why do the big brands have that dialed in? Big brands like Gap, Banana Republic, all the big guys, they have like teams that are just on that and making sure they have scarcity, urgency, all these things we know that are triggers. 30% off today only, 30% off to the end of the month, 40% off on these things, da-da-da-da. They got that stuff planned out and they've reverse engineered it to know when the sweet spots are to get higher conversion. At the small level for us, that's something we got to dial in. That's what I'm on the hunt for, and I hope you see how this connects to scale as we go into 2019. You follow? Final one, test and measure. Do you have time scheduled every week? Kind of follows what we talked about over here. Every month, quarter, or half year to test and measure your success, specifically how well your online presence has grown in awareness, leads, and sales. The beauty is if you're using Kajabi, you can measure the awareness because it gives you reports on that. You'll see people become part of your list as a lead conversion, and Kajabi calls them members if they buy a product or program you have. So you have awareness just by looking at the reports Kajabi provides. You have leads by them giving you email, and you have sales based on offers converted. You follow? Are you 100% consistent with this? How do you think most people score there? How do you score there? That is my flagship opt-in involvement device for 2019 for our internet business. How do you think we're going to do with that? I can only tell you confidently that when I put this out into the world to people right now, and I filled this out for them, I asked permission, people support what they create. I'm like, would it be okay if I filled out the report card for you? And I'll send that to you. Nobody's gotten above a D. D plus, 48 was that one. Nobody's gotten above a D plus. And they fall apart on the consistency, 6 and 7. They fall apart on 5, something fierce. Many of them have 4. They don't have the backlinks, but that isn't part of this version of it. They don't usually have schema, and if they do, it's very basic. So with that being framed, let's go ahead and dive into here. I do want to give you a site that will help you understand structured markup and schema, technicalseo.com. That's one of the sites my team uses to develop that structured markup data so we're explicit and clear to Google of our census data, of our areas, of where we serve, if applicable, what our codes are. If Google sees the alignment of your content with the code, that's the federal classification system, the NAICS or the SIC codes, or both, it gives you all kinds of extra boost. So, so powerful. I'm so geeking out on this. I love this stuff. So with that all being framed, let's finish filling this in. Compassionate content with links. Whoops. Compassionate CTAs. Consistent campaigns. Test and measure. Improve or remove. So our marching orders today is this. It's for you to think through what involvement device can you create or update. And it could be one of your existing assessments, if you have assessments, that you can turn into a report card. And I love the report card because when people have kids, that's the topic of pain. Just the words report card. Originally, I called this a scorecard. Nope, report card. Scorecard sound too fun. Go drive it home with report, right? So what involvement device? And if you have a problem with that, or not thinking like, oh, I don't even know what that would look like, then get in our Zoom roundtable or get a check-in call with me to make sure we own that for you. Because I want you owning this for 2019. And I want you to realize this whole focus is to help people develop and keep recurring revenue for ISG. 6 and 7 are all about recurring revenue for the long term. We have people paying us an internet services group for 12 years every month. 12 years of recurring rev. They worked through the recession. Still paid us. Why? Because we represented hope for them to reach that audience. You know, really pivotal. How can you easily show them the pain that they didn't even know they had or they're in? You know, so many people, they're like, I don't even know what schema means. By the time I'm done with them, they're like, give me schema. I need it. I'm leaving money on the table. Give me. I don't know. I've said the word schema. I don't really know what it means. I know I need it. Gotta have it if my competitors got it. Watch the training on these topics. I did that quite a while back, but you can see it at www.isgfl.com. Go ahead and sign up for that. That's in another Kajabi account for me. Being of the founding members plan with Kajabi, it's been incredibly awesome because I can fire up sites. Got to be careful that you are a part owner or a part of the revenue stream of those sites, but that's the idea. And I'd love for you as you look through this. Now we did 2 things today, and I want to make sure I call this out for you. The first thing we did was we talked about the psychology of this involvement device and how it could apply to your business. But you'll see the art of the win-win-win of today's session, today's training, is that we also dove into this for you. So mobile readiness and security happens automatically with Kajabi. Automatically. Schema, 1 topic per page, compassionate content. 1 topic per page happens because each of our offers is 1 page, right? And then we can go to town on that offer, use the ultimate offer outline to hit number 5. Schema is something that we're building out right now for my site. And I'm happy to share with you the schema that I come up with. Because we're going to be looking around all the corners, getting into the intricacies of the newest markup code that's been added that relates to assuring people know we're a coach and they know that we're in the realms that we're in. And we're making sure that it's recognized by Google, Siri, Alexa, all these things. And then 6 and 7. Are you failing in any of those areas? Is that the word of the year like it is for me, for my stuff? Powerful, right? I hope this has helped you. And we're right on time to live purposefully, passionately, positively, productively, and profitably too. So before we wrap up today, I want to make sure we recap. We talked about the 5 Ps. Out of the gate, we rated ourselves on those. We went into the business assessment. Then we went into that beautiful 4-part formula, ROTC. Relationships plus offers plus transactions plus consistency. Then we dove into one of the biggest things for 2019 is getting an involvement device that shows them the pain they did not know they had. And it's a pulsing heavy-duty redness of ouch when they see that red F, either in their email or in print. Yes, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to send that copy of when I do these for customers in email, but I'm also going to mail them a copy. And it's going to say in the front, your report card. I'm gonna have some fun with that. Then we went through and kind of made it real for you. So with that being said, cannot thank you enough for being here. I hope this has helped you differentiate, own your space, own your unique value for 2019 and beyond. You cool? This fits so well in the Kajabi. Cannot wait to show you as I build that in there. It's all on the docket for the next week or two. So take care. I'll see some of you or all of you in our monthly Zoom roundtable in about 30 minutes. The address is on our schedule. And I cannot thank you enough for being here. Let me support you, care for you, love on you, challenge you to come up with your own along the lines of what I created. So take care. Have a good one. Bye. We rocked it.